Hello and welcome to this transmission from the Church of St. Francis, or what's left of it, in Famagusta, or Gazamagusta, as it has two different names over here, in northern Cyprus. So we're not too far off actually from the St. Francis Day in our religious calendar. That's in October the 3rd, and of course it's named World Animal Day very often because he was so linked and very well known to be linked with animals. So for you animal empaths out there, whatever it is you're doing, then this is a message to you from him. And I will also be bringing through the Sacred Canine Heart, as I always do. This is the set of guides that reside really in an expanded state, in a frequency state that I bring through. The dogs, the canid beings, have a lot to say for us, and for those of you that follow Canine Flow, which is my dog training ascension method for dogs and owners, you will know that it's all about the heart, but not necessarily in this romantic, I connect with my dog on a loving basis way, but about the magnetic possibilities of the heart, which is really what the dogs are here to show us how to embrace, and how we can expand out to connect with them and really bring through and embody on planet Earth what is needed. Because what is not needed at the moment is very often the way we have been led and guided and ended up evolving to work with dogs. So let me just see if I can bring St. Francis through first, because this is obviously his place. There's quite a lot of, there's a school there, which is interesting, because his message, despite what we will Google and find about him, is not actually about poverty. And he recognises I want to call it poverty because this is what I do in Canine Flow for a bit of fun. So yeah, it's actually about abundance, and he wants us to know that these children, this energy that these children have, they don't question this abundant thought, they don't question their imagination. And he wants us to know that it's within our imagination that there is all possibilities, and that going into that imagination, going into that realm, it almost takes you into another realm. And he knows this from the time that he's spent doing this. And that though he's portrayed as someone who had nothing, he wants us to know that in nothing there is everything. And that he feels quite strongly, he's very, very grateful actually, that there are many of us now that are choosing to see animals as beings that we would want to engage with on an energy level, because he is saying that they actually are giving the person working with them more than the person is giving them. They feel that the person working with them feels that they are giving the energy to the dog, or they are making changes to the dog or the other being, the other animal being. But he wants us to know that actually no, it's the other way around. That by working with the animals, you are growing and evolving more than you are making changes in the outside realm. And that's why so many of you are being called to work with animals now, because they are like the next level from children in terms of our understanding of letting go, living in our hearts, ironically being more in our imagination. Because I just go back into Canine Flow the way I portray. Okay, he wants me to say the way I portray, and yes, this is my opinion, although it is backed up by a lot of the New Age sciences, that they're feeling beings, they're true feeling beings. In fact, not just New Age science, because feelings are emotional, measurable things. he's very strong. He's very strong here, and he really wants you to know that it's about you. He really wants you to know that yes, go and work with these animals, but do not take with you that you are preventing, stopping, healing is a word he wants to use. Do not take with you that you are in some way ceasing suffering, because there is no place for fear and suffering in our society now. And this is what his ability to be at one with what we would call lack meant to him, because actually that to him meant that he had the possibility of everything. And his lesson is about that poverty, that state that we label as less and lack and not successful and not having it. It's the way of being that creates everything. And he wants us to know that we will always be supported. And especially, I know, going back to me, from the canine heart, we are always supported, on PAW, supported. If you have a dog, it has found you. They have found you, should I say. And despite if you feel that you went to find the dog, they have found you to support you through your next level of ascension and to bring these messages to you. Let's just have a card from the Sacred Canine Heart. Okay, top one. Okay. So, the card we've got is the completion card. Oh, and interesting on the back, the love card. Very similar colours. The one that's looking at me now is the love card. Love is always the answer. The one that I was drawn to share with you, this is a message now from the Sacred Canine Heart. Every ending is a new beginning. So this completion, interesting, what it is it's a message that they agree with the energies and the frequencies that St. Francis is portraying. They agree that what can appear as the end, or having nothing, or having a lack of something, so something's finished, something's ended, it's gone, that it's completed itself. This is never the case. There is always more. Abundance is literally everywhere. And they want you to know this, that by things moving and shifting and transforming and evolving, you're letting things complete themselves. You're letting the ending come for the next beginning. And it's when we're in resistance to completion that we don't allow these things to come into our lives. So when we're in resistance to lack, almost, then we cannot create the abundance. Okay, so if I turn it over, the card that was on the back, the love card, is about sending this through. What I'm getting from this time is that the power of these eyes, I hope you can really see this, that they are literally burning almost into me when I look at this, but in a nice way. They're calm, they're blue, the sky is blue behind. They are really staring, and they are really showing that this is about love, and this is the message that St. Francis wants to bring through, that love is always the answer. Okay, if ever you have some ants crawling up me now, they even want to get in on the game. If you have something that you want to let complete itself, but you're finding hard to let go, it's about filling yourself with the frequencies and the light of love. So whatever love represents to you, you can give it a color frequency and absorb that. You can make it white light and absorb that. You can just tell yourself that love is in your frequency and you're absorbing that. That is the way to allow the resistance to move on, so that you can let things complete themselves. So within canine flow, our dogs will show us where we're not letting things complete themselves. And very often, if we're in a state of being that we don't want to let go of things, we don't want to move on, we can find ourselves checking our dogs more, or living in more of a control, even if we label it leadership, more of a way that we are leading them and guiding them and telling them what to do, even in a nice way. We can find ourselves stopping them from allowing their energy to complete itself. So their energy completes itself through expression, and very often we are limiting that expression, and this is a mirror for us limiting our own expression in our lives. And rather than working with the dog, which again goes kind of what St. Francis was saying, when we work on ourselves, when we change ourselves, we find that the dog's behaviour changes. And this can be hard to understand until you actually experience it, until you do it. And I have many people who either do my online course or meet me or hear me talk, and they're like, whoa, that they know there's something in it, they know it resonates with them on an expanded level, they know really they are that expanded self. Deep down you will know that you are this really, but it's getting there, and it's how do we navigate getting out to this expanded state. And once they've been on the retreat, or once they've had a reading with me, that they feel and you will feel too, that it makes more sense, that you actually can experience it and embody it down into your life. So once you embody it down into your life, it just seems to land a little bit better. So, okay, let me see if I can bring Francis through for just another message. Okay, I'm getting the words sit in silence. Okay, so sitting in silence, I think we'll do this practice, and I want you to visualize the hexagon on the bottom of this card. This is a sacred geometric symbol that you will take with you throughout this meditation. Now there's a triangle within a hexagon. So as you sit here, I want you to just imagine that you're sitting inside the triangle that's within that hexagon, and just starting to still yourself. And the noises that you might hear around you, just let yourself within this triangle, within this hexagon, just let those be on the outside of that. Any noises you might hear coming through from this now busy town, just allow those to fade out as well. And visualizing this shape as well within the blank space that having your eyes shut enables. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, right down through your body, right down to your root chakra. And breathing that out slowly. And another breath in, right down to your root chakra. And breathing that out slowly. And again taking in the energies that are created when we visualize this sacred geometric symbol around us. And just returning to breathing normally, which may be a little deeper than before. I'm going to invite St. Francis in to really share with us some channelings, some downloads we call them, even though they're coming from all angles, especially when we sit in these geometric shapes. And just invite him to bring those into our fields now, and I invite you to open and soften outward to allow them in. chose to reach you through the time-space matrix, wherever you are listening to this transmission of understanding poverty as abundance. Of really breaking the thought patterns and beliefs that surround nothing. Breaking those thought patterns into possibility for everything, into creative force, into abundant force, into space to allow. Some releasing going on that's definitely being mirrored in the children around. Just allow yourself to open and soften, relax into this transmission, this upgrade, this download that St. Francis wants you to have, and he wants to send it's so strong. It's like an impactful, eternal gratitude for any of you that are being drawn to work with animals. And he wants to say that this will transform you as a being. It will allow your soul to release limiting beliefs about fears and suffering and having nothing. These beliefs can be golden, they can be abundant. They can be all possibilities. So transforming now as we embrace his energies and thank him. Thank him too, because he was a true pioneer of his time. And his gratitude is coming through strong because he feels that you understand him. Deep down you understand him. You recognise that all of nature and all of animals are in union with the human race, and that we have so much to learn from them by being in their presence, their presence, not by changing them, not by fixing them, not by healing them. We will learn by being in their presence. It's very deep. Ooh, wow. If only you could see the ants. When I first came, there were a few ants. They are now everywhere. Abundant. Whoa. Okay. And working together. The message I get from the ants now is they're working together. Each individual ant is contributing just as much as the rest of them, and to have that central hub of what we might see as the queen ant doesn't make her better, doesn't make her more successful. She's like the central energy hub, if you like, the heart. She's the heart. That's what it is. She's the magnetic heart that supports the rest of the ants to go round doing their bit. Wow, so much is coming through from the ants now. We'll do an ant transmission another day. Wow. Thank you for taking part in this practice, and great blessings from me to all of you, and the Sacred Canine Heart and the Church or Chapel of St. Francis. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your day.